Hello and welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends, and tonight we are going to be using our Greek seasoning for a really tasty rub. I am positively addicted to this stuff on chicken and shrimp. So Greek, Jambalaya, any of our blends that any of our green blends will mix very well with any of our red blends to make just fabulous rubs. And any of our red blends will actually do fabulous rubs just on their own. So you can use this recipe for about 9 different rub combinations. 12 if you just go for the red blends. So why don't we get started and figure out what we need to do for this, and we'll get cooking. We will need Greek seasoning. It is our blend of the month this month, and boy, do we love it. It's one of our best sellers. Is Jambalaya mix, and the Greek mixed with the Jambalaya just make a beautiful rub. It's got just the right amount of heat. You can see right back here with a little bit of heat. It's herby. It's just very, very well rounded. It's got a lot of pepper in it, the whole 9 yards. And you know, this is just perfect for the start of grilling season. As you can see, it is gorgeous outside. We've been getting great temperatures and it is time to break out the grill. So let's get started. We're going to need kosher salt. We're going to need some brown sugar. I prefer the dark brown sugar over the light brown sugar because you've got just a more robust flavor to it. All that extra molasses in there just adds a smokiness that is just top notch. That is all we need for the rub. We're also going to be doing beautiful blanched asparagus tonight because this rub is just so quick and easy, just absolutely wonderful. So we're going to be going over how to blanch asparagus for top-notch flavor. We're going to be wanting some sort of a container to put all of this in. I do love using these guys. I believe we got these at Walmart. You're going to start off with 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of Greek seasoning, and 1 tablespoon of jambalaya blend. Start with the brown sugar. Now this is packed brown sugar, by the way. The only way to measure this stuff is packed. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go right into a resealable jar or something of the like. That way, if you're only doing a couple of pieces of chicken, or if you're making a whole bunch of it at once, you can just slap a lid on that baby and break it out whenever you like. So, Greek seasoning. I love this stuff. It is herby, it is garlicky, it is lemony, and there is no better stuff for either a really great light flavor, or you can just pile it on for a lot of great flavor for something that. So that's 1 tablespoon of Greek seasoning. Jambalaya mix is a very clean heat. It's very savory. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Go ahead and put that on in there. And then 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now kosher salt tastes about half as salty as normal table salt. So if you're going to use normal table salt in this or something like that, then you probably want to go for a half a teaspoon to start with and then go from there. So then you just break up your brown sugar. Once it's actually broken up, you can stir it or slap a lid on that puppy and shake, shake, shake. Pressing some of the lumps out of my brown sugar real quick. Look at this. There you go. So you can see some of the kosher salt in there. The colors have actually evened out to a beautiful brown. Your spice mix is now done. So what are we gonna do next? We're gonna break out a zipper lock bag. Now this is a secret that I learned a while ago, and I am passing this hack on to you. Get yourself a pair of tongs, and I've got 2 chicken thighs here. I'm going to actually open up those thighs so they're nice and flat, so that when I put them in there, you can actually see all the little cracks and crevices. And I'm gonna do these one at a time. If I'm doing a lot of chicken, then I'll go ahead and break out a gallon-sized bag. Go ahead, one at a time, put your chicken in there. As much as a heaping tablespoon in there at each time. That was a heaping tablespoon in there. That may even be a little bit much. You're going to shake this up and then pat it so that the spices stick nicely. Now, what have we got? Got a lot of great stuff right in there. A lot of our spices are in those crevices. You don't have a whole lot hanging around the bottom of the bag. And take this one out. There you go. Nice and well seasoned. Put that in a bowl. Your next piece out. Pour it right on in. Do not get your utensils all chickeny. If you're not so sure how much of this stuff you're going to use and your utensils are going to get chickeny, then pour some of this into a different container. That way you can toss out what's left without contaminating your store spice rub. Shake this up. And this is a great way to make sure you do not waste a lot of your spice blends. Sometimes you'll be doing this and you'll be sprinkling things over your chicken. Well, a lot of what you're sprinkling kind of drops off. It doesn't stick to the chicken very well, that kind of thing. This is a great way to make sure that your spices actually stick. Okay, put that one on a plate. As you can see, there's a wonderful amount of coat there. Oop, I missed a spot. And on the back, it looks really good as well. If you do miss a spot, just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit over there and you're good. So now this, my friends, is ready for the barbecue. Seriously, it's wonderful. And we've got some right over here that came off the barbecue just a couple minutes ago. So I'm gonna put this off to the side and then we're gonna get onto that asparagus. Yum. For the asparagus, what are we gonna need? We're going to need a wide, shallow pan. Now, not too shallow because we're going to be using some water with this, but definitely a wide, shallow pan. Turn that to high heat. We are going to put about 1/4 inch of water in the bottom of the pan and get that heating up. So the whole idea behind blanching this asparagus is keeping a lot of the crunch and just the beautiful amount of vitamins that are available in a lot of our nearly raw produce, and also keeping a ton of flavor. So you don't get gray vegetables. Instead, you get a crunch and a mouthfeel that's just beautiful, and you get a ton of flavor. The presentation is just out of this world. The colors are vibrant, the whole 9 yards. That's why we blanch things. We've got ourselves one bundle of asparagus here. When it comes straight from the store, it's normally got some sort of a white part down here. It has been cut about ground level when it's been harvested, but there's a woody portion on the stalk that is less than appetizing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna bend it. You're going to bring in your hand about 2/3 of the way in and leave this right at the end. And you're gonna bend it until it snaps. Now, sometimes you can munch. Yum! I love raw asparagus. Oh my gosh, especially right out of the garden. Oh. But meanwhile, what you have left is tender and just absolutely wonderful. And we're going to go ahead and snap the rest of these real quick. Several of them already. While we're waiting for this to heat up, we're also going to use about a tablespoon of butter in the bottom of our pan. I find that adds just a beautiful flavor to things. I'm gonna go for about a full teaspoon Greek seasoning. Yum! Right across the top of your water. And salt to taste. I tend to just put a little bit in there, right there. By the way, you guys probably want to see what I'm doing, huh? So, your friend, the not-so-Swedish chef over here, our water is starting to simmer just a little bit. This is a good thing. We want our butter to completely melt before we put our asparagus in. And then you're going to find these here. You see, this portion was actually underground, believe it or not. So, definitely grab about a third, 2/3 in and just break. Now you can do this whole thing with broccoli. There's a whole story on that I've told before. I'm going to stir this up a bit because our butter wasn't really melting all the way, but now we've got a full simmer going on. Now we're going to put asparagus in here in a single layer or else it's going to cook unevenly. Now the key here is to let it get bright green, scream, turn it over, let it scream again, and then take it off. We're gonna just flip these like that, scoop your tongs underneath the whole bundle, and then just flip them like so. You see how bright green that is? That's exactly what we're looking for. Just go ahead and do a scoop and plate those bad boys. Oh, ho, ho, ho. They are hot. They are gorgeous, they are vibrant, and they smell awesome. What do we got here? Chicken that just came off the grill. Isn't that wonderful stuff? Oh, yum, 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 yum. We have our newly blanched asparagus. It is steaming, it is gorgeous, and it is yummy. Let's go ahead and put some of that right in there. Would you look at that? Oh, yum. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love asparagus, especially done right. Done wrong, it's horrible. Done right, it's wonderful. This has a lot of flavor. The Greek has actually given it a ton of flavor from the herbs and spices in there. There's a lot of garlic, there's a lot of onion, there's a lot of black pepper. Oh man, the butter does wonderful. And it's such an easy way to do your vegetables. It's amazing. Look at that chicken. Seriously wonderful. It's got a beautiful glaze on it from that dry rub. It's been off of the grill since we started filming. And so it's rested, it's gone ahead and sucked up its juices again. And oh my goodness gracious. Let's take a taste. Okay. It's still my favorite. So what we have here is something that's slightly spicy. It's got a little bit of herbiness to it. It's got a little bit of salt to it. It's got sweet. The flavors just marry so well. And this is awesome, awesome stuff. So from our kitchen to yours, that is Greek Dry Rub and beautiful Greek asparagus. Have yourself a great one, and we will see you next week. Keep things steaming.